Welcome to Land House. I'm Seth. I have two power stations to take a look at today. It's from a company called FlashFish. Now, about 3 months ago, I broke the charging port on my cell phone, and I have been using the wireless charger option of this power station since then, and it has been a lifesaver. So let's go ahead and take a look at both of these and see all the features that it has to offer. The reason it's taken so long for me to make the reviews on both of these is because I was anticipating doing them both together like this, but this unit was sent as the, I guess, European plug, and I definitely was unable to use that here in the US. So now we have got the correct one. Good. So let me go ahead and get this one out of the box, and then we'll take a look at both of them. I'm anticipating the chargers to be the same. Let's see if they are. Let's see, it's a car charger. A little bit different than the other one, but they both come with this adapter for a cigarette lighter. So, all right, let's dive into these a little bit closer so you can see the features of both of them. Let's start off with this bigger unit. This is the A301. It has a 320 watt AC output, two different plugs over here. The front side has the AC on button, the power on button. It's got a DC 12 volt, the USB-C right here, got another 12 volt over there, and then two regular USB number 2, and then a USB 3 right there. And then it also has the display showing 96% charged right now. And whenever you push this power button, it automatically will turn on the top so that it will start searching for the wireless. So if I go ahead and take this, place this right here, you can see hopefully that started charging. So that right there has been the main thing that I have used this unit for. It has been a true lifesaver since I broke that port. Okay, keep moving. It's got a handle here on top, which makes it nice and easy to carry. And I've been using that a little bit. It's got a cooling fan on this side. Turn to the back, it's got a lamp. So let's go ahead and show that. The power button for the lamp is over here. You've got the outer ring, and then you press it again. It just does some different brightness settings there. It's got strobe, and if you hold it down, it will do a middle light there, which is more of a directional light. So let's go ahead and turn that one off. All right, there we go. Okay, let's go ahead and plug up something that will pull a good load. So this right here is 320 watts. So my good old faithful 200 watt LED panel here is what we're going to use to show the output of that. Now nothing happened because we haven't turned on the AC power button. Hold that down. There you go, now it's on. There we go. Took it a second, but it came on. It's quite a load. Oh, you can't see anything. I think this thing runs at like 220 watts. And so it's got 96% there on that 95. So that's going to bring down the power of this little unit pretty quick. But it is able to operate this 220 watts. So we go ahead and turn this off. Okay. Unplug that so we know that works. Now on the AC plugs, it has two different plugs. One has the option for a plug with ground and one does not. Oh, also your DC in is going to be right down here. Now I did not bring down the charger for this, but it looks similar to this right here, except it's got the cord that comes out the back to plug up to the wall. So, but it is just a typical DC barrel plug. All right, let's try out an application that uses a 12 volt here. So if I plug that into one of the DC on the front, I can then use an application that has 12 volt. I've got an air compressor. Let me go ahead and plug that up. Okay, turn that power on. So this unit just has a fan running, and if I turn this actually on, you'll hear it kick in. All right, that is working just fine. So if you were in an emergency situation and had to fill up a raft out somewhere or had to fill up car tires, then you could use this power station and that 12 volt. Okay, to turn the unit off, you just hold the power down for about 3 or 4 seconds and that will shut down. All right, let's take a look at how bright this light is here at night. Okay, so not totally night, but it is dark in here. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and push that power button on. So I held it down for the 3 or 5 seconds, and that's your directional spotlight. You can see it's nice and bright here, and just be nice to carry this small unit around here, and it's gonna last for a long time. All right, I'm gonna turn that off, and just a quick press will turn this. It's more of a fill light. You can see it shines a larger area. Press that again for the brightest setting. I forget what the watt value is on this. It's not more than 2 or 3, so it'll last for a very long time. If I press it again, we should get that SOS, and then strobe, and then off. This small, lightweight power station has really been nice. I keep it at the bedside table so I can charge my cell phone. So having that wireless charger on top is different from a lot of the power stations I have used, and it has worked flawlessly. I've had a couple of them that would not charge the phone 100% from when you first push the button to whenever it's charged, but this one, click it and it will stay charging until you pull the phone off of there, so it even maintains that charge over time. I will have a link to the FlashFish A301 in the description of this video. And now moving on, this is the FlashFish A101. It's a much smaller unit, has a 110 watt AC output, and also has the same kind of lamp on the back. Anyway, let me bring you up close. We can take a look at all the features. So it's got the power button right here, the AC on button over here. It has 2 of the USB-C. It's got 2 of the USB, I'm assuming 3, but I'm not sure. It's got the DC in, so the power cord that came with that looks like this. It has a small barrel plug, and that's how you can determine the difference between one and the other. That connection's decent, a little bit weak maybe. And then over here on the far side, you can do a 12 volt DC output like this right here, and we will test out that same compressor. That compressor is going to use somewhere around, I think it was 110 watts, so maybe pushing it for this little unit, but we'll give it a try. On the top, it's got the on button for the light in the back, which you can see is that translucent there, so it should diffuse pretty good. Over here, it's got a cooling fan. On this side is that AC output, and it does have the grounding pin there. And let's see, on the bottom, you've got a little bit of information with some rubber feet. And then I'm seeing on this side right here, there is a place you can put this strap that comes with the unit, and that just will snap down on there, something like that. So you could carry it from a lanyard. I think I'm going to take that off because I don't know that I'll be carrying it like that anytime soon, but I guess that's their option for including a handle. Now the light on the other one works without having to push the on button, so let's see here. Let me hold it down. Yeah, there we go. So that light is on. What happens if you hold it down again? Turns it off. Let's see if there are different settings. Yeah, there's a SOS and an off. So just one power setting on that. Okay, it's currently at 52% of charge. I'm going to go ahead and hook up this right here, that DC, so we can try out that same compressor and see if it will run this thing, which is at 110 or so watts. So turn that on, push it again, turns it on there. It says the USB out is turned on and the DC out. So let's see if it'll work. No problems there. Seems to work just fine. Now, to test out the 110 watts out, I have an LED street lamp, which is going to use right at 97 watts from a test I did previously. Let me open it, make sure it's set to the 100 watt setting. Okay, there we go. So now I should be able to turn this on, hold down the AC, and now it says AC out is option on. Let's go ahead and turn this. Yep, there we go. Goodness gracious, that thing is bright. All right, so it's now plugged up, and it's at 51% right there. Now, if I trigger this to 150 watts, it should trigger the safety here. Let's see if it'll do it. Oh, that's the 75 watt. Hold on. There's 100, and then it should trigger it right now. Yep, okay. So the unit just triggered the safety, and it didn't say anything about an error on the screen, but I should just be able to turn this whole thing off and then turn it back on. Let's go ahead and turn the DC off again. There we go. All right, AC on. And if I turn this back to 100 watts, now we shouldn't have any problems getting that to work again. Yeah, there we go. All right, nice. So the AC is working just fine. Now, I imagine running this at 100 watts is going to pull down this small battery pretty quick. I doubt you can hear this. Let me bring it up to the mic. There is a little LED that came on inside here, you can see, and that fan turned on because it was pulling so much power there out of that. Now, if you leave the AC on, it's going to drain the battery. So remember to turn that off whenever the unit is not in use. All right, let's see how bright this light is here in this dark room. Okay, I've got the power on the unit here. Let's go ahead and click this button for the light. There we go. It's decent. It's not going to be quite as bright as the other one. And like we found out, it just has the one setting. Press it again. It's got the SOS. And then we turn it off right there. Let's go ahead and try out the charger here. Just plug that up. And then the other one will go into the front of the unit there on the DC in. It's blinking at 48%. So I may leave this for a few minutes and see if it goes up to the next percent level, and we'll know how well that is doing. And about 10 minutes later, it's at 50%. So we are definitely charging as it should be. All right, we'll go ahead and unplug that for now. If you'd like to watch another video on the A301, I have a link to that in the description down below to my other YouTube channel. And then this one right here, I am just starting to use. I'm actually going to give this to my sister for a Christmas present. But I wanted to run through a couple of the specs real quick. And those are just that it has 110 watts AC output. It does have the USB-C and the USB 3, which is what we were looking at earlier. 18 watts for both of those. The LED, it says it's going to consume 5 watts, a little bit higher than I was anticipating, but it's bright enough that you can see from. 12 volts, 2 amps charging. Let's see, solar charging. You can do 18 volt up to 24 volt. Doesn't give a watt rating there. The cycles, more than 800 times. Operating temperature, -4 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. The weight, 2.64 pounds. And warranty, 12 months after the date of purchase. All right, so if you want to check out either of these FlashFish power stations, I have links in the description down below. Like I said, I've been using this one for about 3 months and had 0 issues with it, and I don't anticipate this one having any issues either. What's nice about this is it can charge your typical tablets, and AC side is good for, you know, using on that air compressor or keeping a laptop charged if the power is out. And it's so small. You can fit this, you know, back in a cabinet somewhere, and it doesn't take up much space. So if you're looking for something to take camping, this is probably a good option for you. And this one over here is as well. It's just a little bit bigger and heavier, but the battery capacity is also going to be different. So on the bigger station, it's got 292 watt hours. Let's go ahead and move over to this one and see if it will tell us here. 98 watt hours. So definitely a lot less time in the battery of this one versus the bigger one. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Check these out, links in the description down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.